inspiration and author of Health Through Fruit on Amazon Kindle. I own Self Healing Inspiration, which is a company based on teaching people how to heal themselves. So I also teach nutrition classes, yoga, TRX, and meditation, and I also have a very popular blog as well. So we're going to go ahead and do a nice fun flow. This is going to be a shorter practice, but sometimes it's nice to get those shorter practices in if we have a busy day, if it means that we might not get that practice in at all. So there's a lot of value even with the shorter practices. So let's get down on our mats. Let's kind of start in child's pose. Okay, we're going to start in child's pose. It's where our knees are mat distance apart and your feet are together. We'll go ahead and start to walk our hands towards the top of the mat and rest your forehead down on the mat, drawing your hips towards your heels. So in the beginning of practice, let's start with our meditation breathing, just moving in and out of the breath, finding some nice grounding. Deep inhale. And exhale. And as you're breathing, breathe into the chest, breathe into the side ribs, and then breathe into the belly. It's a 3-part breath. Exhale, contracting the belly, then contract the side ribs, and contracting the chest. Let's go ahead and give that a try. Deep inhale through the chest, to the side ribs. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, contract the belly, contract the side ribs and the chest. Let's repeat. And exhale. Let's find some gentle movement with your forehead. Maybe you start to see that shimmy all the way down your spine towards your tailbone. We could take our palms, roll them up towards the ceiling, and then just start to rotate the wrists, just getting some nice gentle movement in the body. Take your hands, walk them over to the right side of the mat, and bring your left hand on top of the right hand, stretching through the left side ribs. Breathe into the left side ribs, your intercostals, feeling that expansion. Let's walk your hands all the way up and over to the left side of the mat. Right hand on top of the left. Breathing into the right side ribs. We'll come back towards the center this time. Walk your hands all the way towards the top of the mat. So tent up high onto the fingertips, stretching through your serratus and your lats. And then we'll plant our hands down onto the floor, so press your knuckles down. Inhale, modified lion. Shift the hips forward and down. Lift your heart up and back. Bring your feet off the mat, close to your head. Then melt your shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, child's pose, beginning to move and breathe on the breath. Gliding your hips down to your heels. Inhale, modified lion. Shift the hips forward and down, heart up and back. Lift your feet up towards your head. Exhale, child's pose, gliding the hips down towards the heels. One more, inhale, modified lion, and look over your left and your right shoulders, windshield wipering the legs. And we'll come back into our tabletop position, exploring your cats and your cows, just warming up the spine. Inhale, cow face. Exhale, cat posture around the spine. One more, inhale, cow face. And these can be dynamic. They don't have to be so stagnant and, you don't have to be so stiff and rigid with them. Feel free to move your body around. You can look over the right and the left shoulders. And let's find our bird dog position. Inhale, lift your right arm and your left leg. Point your thumb up towards the ceiling and get your thigh parallel to the floor. Hug your belly in. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee, cheetah pose. Inhale, lengthen, go long. Exhale, elbow to knee, cheetah pose. One more time. Inhale, go long. Exhale, bring your elbow into the knee. Let's do one more little challenge. Inhale, find your bird dog position. Bring your arm and your leg out to the side of the room. This is awkward airplane. I got the sign in the way, so we're going to just do the best we can. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring it back in. Bend the knee, reach around, catch your foot. Kick your foot up towards the ceiling. Open up through the heart. So you're kicking actively into your hand, lifting your chest up. And then exhale, slowly come on down towards the floor. Bird dog position, other side. Left arm, right leg. Point your thumb up towards the ceiling. Exhale, cheetah pose. Bring your elbow to your knee, chin to chest. Inhale, lengthen, go long. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Get ready for that funky one, awkward airplane. Inhale, lengthen, and now bring your arm and leg out to the sides of the room, bringing your leg parallel to the floor. Hold it here, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back towards the center, bend the knee, reach around, catch the foot. Kick your foot into your hand. Lift through the heart and actively push your right hand down into the mat, finding some height in this position as well. One more, inhale, and then slowly release. Draw your elbow or your hand and your knee back down toward the floor. Curl the toes under, lift the knees up off the mat. Pedal the feet, your first down dog of the day. So hug the belly in, finding that Uddiyana Bandha, and pedal the feet out. And you can give your head a shake, so find a couple of yeses and nos, releasing any tension in your head, neck, and shoulders. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart and your hands are about shoulder distance apart. Inhale, come into your plank position, hug the belly in. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips go high. Let's start to undulate the spine. Come up high on the tippy toes. Roll one vertebrae at a time into that plank position. Exhale, you can bend the knees, find your downward facing dog. One more, inhale, come up high. Roll into your plank. Exhale, bend the knees, find the cow face, build that pelvis forward, and then slowly come into that downward facing dog. Let's move into a little bit of strength work. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come into turbo dog. Bend the knees, hover them just off the floor. Stretch your arms long towards the front of the mat. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more turbo dog. Bend the knees to hover the floor. So stretch the arms long towards the front of the mat. Hold it here. One more. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving into that turbo dog. Bend the knees. And we're going to see if you want to do and add a little challenge. Maybe kick your heels up to your glutes. So you could do 3 baby kicks. They could be small or large, you decide. So go ahead and kick your heels up. 2, 3. All right, let's walk or jump your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let your head hang heavy down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down towards the floor. Inhale, root to rise, bring your arms all the way out and up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. Close your eyes for just a moment. If you want to set an intention for your practice, now is a good time to go ahead and do so. So it could be inviting gratitude into your life. What are you thankful for? You could be moving into that Ujjayi breath. It's a warming breath, heating up the body. Take a deep inhale, bring your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, step it back, plank position. Exhale, you could do your knees, chin and chest. This is another option. Bend the elbows, so it's an 8-point salute. Bringing your knees, chin and chest down towards the floor. Slither all the way down to the belly. Bringing your hands right by your shoulders. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up your chest up off the mat. Exhale, come on down. Bend the knees, push back, find your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, cheetah pose. We've got 3 of these. Inhale, go long. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Inhale, lengthen. Really bring your thigh into the chest. Hug your heel into your glute.
Inhale, lengthen, cheetah pose, or lengthen the leg. Step the foot between the hands. Drop your left foot down onto the floor and cartwheel your arms open. Finding that nice warrior two position. Again, bringing your knee directly over your ankle. And push your knee towards the pinky edge of the foot so that you're not knocking in with the knee, rather keeping it open. You're also dropping that left hip down towards the floor. Stretch your arms out in opposition, wrapping the muscle around the bones, and lift your right hand up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reverse warrior. Bring your right hand all the way up and over, fan out the right side ribs. Exhale, side angle. Bring your right elbow down onto the knee. Reach your left arm all the way up and over, palm face down. Try to keep it light in the weight on that with that right elbow. And if you want to do this added challenge, maybe you bring your right arm up so that your biceps frame the face. Hug the belly in, hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Let's bring both hands down to the floor, coming into a wide leg fold. So toes go in, heels go out. Let's bring your hands behind the back body, and we'll go ahead into a nice little fold. So think about bringing your collarbone down towards the floor. You have your feet pigeon-toed slightly, so your toes are in, your heels are out. Release your hands down to the floor. Spin your heels in, your toes out, and slowly roll on up into a goddess squat. Take your right shoulder, shrug it in. Look over that left shoulder. Inhale to the center, shrug the left shoulder in, look over the right shoulder. Inhale to the center. Let's go ahead and bring our hands back to frame the foot. Let's find our pyramid position. Bringing the right foot forward, left foot behind you. They're about 3 feet apart and they are parallel like a railroad track. Shift your weight into the right leg to find an even hip line. So we want to have our hips parallel. Plant your left hand down. Inhale, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling, revolved pyramid. Soften that right knee. Go ahead, kick off that left foot, coming into revolved half moon. And then slowly soften the right leg. Step it back. Let's take a flow. Do that on the other side. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll through the feet, downward facing dog. Get ready for your 3 cheetahs on the other side. Inhale, lift, left leg goes high. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Inhale, lengthen. Last one. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Step between your hands, warrior two. Cartwheel the arms open. So this is a heel to heel alignment or heel to arch alignment. And stretch your arms in opposition. Push that right hip down towards the floor. And this is an open hip position. And pushing your knee back towards the pinky edge of the foot. Flip the top left hand up towards the ceiling. Find your reverse warrior. Reach your left arm all the way up and over. Gaze underneath that left bicep. Lifting the left side ribs up towards the ceiling. Exhale, side angle. Bring your elbow down to your knee. Reach your right arm, palm face down towards the front of the room. So this is extended side angle. Try to stay lifted in that left elbow. Inhale, lift. Maybe your biceps frame the face. Hug the belly in. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to drop both hands down to the floor. Pigeon toe the toes. The toes go in, heels go out. Lift through the chest. So you could do one more fold. If you want to put your hands on the outside edges of the feet, bend the elbows, bring your forearms to touch the shins. Or if you want to do a headstand, you could go ahead and do so. Placing the top of your head down to the floor. This is a tripod headstand. Come up high on your tippy toes. And then maybe you come all the way up into your headstand. Hold it here. If you want an option or a variation, maybe you bring your legs down halfway. See if you can control it. And then maybe open your legs back out. Coming back into your wide leg fold. Let's walk your hands out just a little bit to find that nice flat back. Spin the heels in, find your goddess squat once again. Roll the spine up, all the way up. Bring your arms up overhead. And then drop your right elbow down to the knee. Reach your left arm all the way up and over. Gaze underneath that left bicep. And then cartwheel the arms up and over other side. Feeling that side stretch in the right side waist. Inhale, lift. Bring your hands to heart center or up overhead into prayer. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Let's go ahead and do that again. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Let's do it again. Inhale, arms up overhead. See if you can come up high on the right tippy toes. Bend down into that goddess squat. You're gonna start feeling it burning now. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Drop that right heel. Lift the left heel this time. Come into that goddess squat. Stay up high with that left tippy toe. And one more time, reach your arms up overhead. If you want that added challenge, maybe you do both heels at the same time. Exhale, goddess squat. Come up high in the tippy toes. You might get a little wobbly. See if you can hold it for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on down. Whew. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Step it back to plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. Hips go high to the sky. Let's crisscross our legs and then come into a seated position. We'll roll all the way down onto our backs, coming into a half bridge. So bring your fingertips to touch the heels. And inhale. Peel the hips up off the floor. If you want, you have an option of rolling your arms underneath your back body, interlacing all 10 fingers. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. So as you're in your bridge, think about pigeon toeing the toes just a little bit. So that and also think about not squeezing your glutes so much. When you are softening through the glutes, you're actually releasing the muscles in the low back, which is what you want to be doing. And then we'll come into one more bridge position. So bring your heels in to touch your fingertips. Inhale, lift your hips up high. Roll your shoulder blades underneath. See if you could get the meaty part of your hands to touch. If you want to do a variation, let's take the left foot into the middle of the mat. Inhale, lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Slowly bend the knee. Let's change sides. Inhale, lift. Left leg goes high. Breathe. And then slowly come on down. Release your hands and release your tailbone down to the floor. Knees together and feet apart. That actually helps to release the low back. If you want, we could go ahead, windshield wiper the legs a couple of times as well. That might be nice. Bring your knees into the chest and roll up just a little bit. Come into your boat position. So bring your feet parallel to the floor and lift through the chest. Exhale, come into a low boat. Let's do that a couple of times. Inhale, lift, high boat, lift through the chest. And then exhale, low boat, come on down. One more time, inhale, lift, high boat. Exhale, come on down, low boat. See if you can hold it here. Let's do some rope pulls. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. You can bring your knees into the chest. Thank yourselves for all your hard work that you're doing. Thank yourselves for all your successes that you've got going on. Maybe you've tried something you haven't done before or stretched a little further than you have in the past. Plant your left foot down on the floor. Bring your right ankle onto the left knee. Go ahead and thread your arms in between your legs. Maybe find your shin. So you could also put it on the back of your hamstring as well if you're not quite as flexible yet. So you can put your hands behind your hamstring, or if you want, you can put them on the shin. And then think about actively pushing your right knee away from you. Hold it here a couple of breaths. And then slowly release your left foot down to the floor. Inhale, lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. So think about bringing your toes towards your forehead. You could soften through the elbows. Slowly bring your foot down to the floor and let's lift the left leg up. Put your left ankle on the right knee and go ahead, thread your hands underneath your hamstring or onto your shin, pushing that left knee away from you. And whenever you're ready, go ahead, place the right foot down onto the floor, lengthen the left leg up towards the ceiling. You can put your hand behind your hamstring Or you could put it up behind the calf, bringing your toes closer to your forehead. Bend the elbows, pull the leg back. Feel yourself softening through the whole back side of the body. And then bring your feet together, knees go wide, coming into a reclined bound angle. This is a nice hip opener. They say your emotions are carried into your hips. And they say when you're releasing the tension in your hips, you're going to feel some emotions coming up. So don't be surprised. You can just release the hands down to the floor, palm face up. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead, lengthen it out, find your final Savasana. Whenever you're ready, go ahead, start to feel some sensation in the fingers and the toes. You can maybe rotate your ankles and your wrists. Take a deep inhale, raise your arms up overhead, stretch and grow the spine. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest, give yourselves that big hug. Maybe take your hands on your knees, you just give it some nice gentle circles. And then when you're ready, roll over onto that right bicep. You can stay here for just a moment, so that final Savasana is like a corpse pose. So it's like the end of the practice, the death of the practice. And this is a fetal position of rebirth. Slowly press your hand into the mat. Come back up into your nice seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. It was a lovely practice. I am so blessed to have been able to do yoga with you today through the camera. So again, Amy Hager, owner of the Self-Healing Inspiration and author of Health Through Fruit. If you want to know more information, come and check out my website at selfhealinginspiration.com. And I have a wonderful blog that I've been writing on there as well. So thank you very much. Namaste.